Thank you for joining us today. I'm Amanda Muzi, and I'm honored to be your moderator for today's panel, Empowering Neuroinclusive Employment. As we continue to make strides towards more diverse and inclusive workplaces, it's crucial that we not only recognize the value of neurodiversity, but also take meaningful steps to integrate neuroinclusive practices into our organizations. This panel will explore how employers and organizations are creating environments where all individuals can thrive. We have an exceptional group of panelists with us today who bring expertise in doing just that. It is my pleasure to welcome Jackson Heller, VUnited Scholar Intern, Philip Murray, VUnited Scholar Staff, Niranjan Haridass, Managing Director of KPMG and Board Member for Next for Autism, Meghan Mirsch, Manager Comcast, Dave Simonetti, Senior Director at Wawa, and Dana Barone, Invest Project Director and Pennsylvania Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. We appreciate you all being here. Our conversation will cover the benefits, effective initiatives, and common challenges employers face. We'll also share actionable insights and resources to help organizations move forward. With that being said, we can get started. For our first question, I would like to ask each of our panelists to further introduce yourselves by sharing more about how you and your organizations empower neuro-inclusive employment. Yes, Dana, if you want to start, we can.
Okay, I was expecting to go last, but when you're late, that's anyway.
I stole your seat, to be fair, so.
So good afternoon, everybody. So I work for the Pennsylvania Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, and honestly, I cannot tell you how thrilled we are to be here today based upon all of the really positive feedback that we've heard throughout this afternoon. So OVR is a federally funded state agency. We are under the Department of Labor and Industry. And we provide services to individuals with disabilities in order to help them become employed. But we really have a dual customer model, right? So our first customer are those individuals who are neurodiverse or who have other types of disabilities. But our second customer is actually employers, right? We provide services to employers to help them create more inclusive workplaces, to really to meet their workforce needs, right? We pre-screen individuals to make sure that they are qualified candidates for your positions of employment. We work to provide the individual with the supports and accommodations that they might need. We help provide disability awareness so that your workplace is more understanding and accepting of people with disabilities and thereby creating a more inclusive workforce. I, right now, am working on a 5-year model demonstration grant. It's the sub-minimum wage to competitive integrated employment grant. And we are looking to help people who are earning sub-minimum wage in sheltered workshops or who might be at risk of going to sub-minimum wage to become employed in the competitive employment realm. And so we love programs like VUnited because of the fact that they are incredibly offering to competitive integrated employment outcomes for their students. So we're really pleased to be here. So thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Dave?
So I'm Dave Simonetti. I'm the Senior Director of Operations for Wawa in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But what I get to do that's my favorite part of my job is I oversee our supported employment program, which is a 43-year-old program that Wawa started kind of by happenstance. We happened to station next to the Eden Center for Autism in New Jersey, and we hired our first associates who are still with us back in 1982. And through this program, we were able to offer jobs and employment. We have a little over 125 associates across our 1,100 store chain that work in the retail environment. and jobs that are specifically curated to each of those individuals' abilities and hopefully pushing those skills and abilities as they spend more time in the role. And I've been involved in this work for several years. I have a daughter with Down syndrome. She's 13. She doesn't work yet. We're going to get her there. I need some financial help. So as soon as we can get her off to the workforce, we will. But you know, I think what I want for her that everybody wants is something meaningful, something that she's proud of, and a way for her to contribute in a way that you know really helps her get what she wants out of life. And I think when I come to panels like this or get the opportunity to talk to other employers, Wawa has a longstanding program, and we had great meetings with the Office of Vocational Rehab about our program. And I think what I try and really work with, I'm interested in starting this type of employment program and showing them that it's not big, it's not scary, it's not hard, and there's a lot of resources that are available. Frankly, you guys have, everyone here familiar with Wawa? Okay. And you know, Wawa is probably the easiest place to work, and nothing crazy ever happens there. But if we can have this type of program in a retail environment, it really shows other businesses that if Wawa can do it, you can do it too. And through the support of job coaching agencies and other partners like that, we've been able to create a lending program that's been very successful, that we've been able to grow with our growth, which is something I know Wawa is very proud of, and I'm personally very proud of, and happy to be here today.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Jackson?
All right. Well, hello, my name is Jackson Heller. I'm a VUnited Scholar intern working in human resources right now. And the way I empower people is by helping them realize their potential in the Villanova VUnited program and really helping them realize what a great work environment looks like with live internship opportunities. And that's really important to me because, you know, when we help people out and really make them comfortable environment that they're in, then it'll truly help them realize, you know, what they're really great at, what they can excel at, which is something that, you know, I am really proud of. And it was an honor to really work alongside Amanda for so long. And, you know, in the second semester of Villanova, it's really been the best. So thank you.
Thank you, Jackson. Philip?
Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Murray. I'm a living advisor for the VUnited Scholars Program. So what a living advisor does is I actually live in the dorms with all the students, and I help them support and interact with other Villanova students. Like we go to the basketball games, the football games, and I also have a learned difference. I went to a college just like the VUnited Scholars Program, and I just feel honored and the passion to work at a very incredible college. And I have wonderful colleagues, and just like walking on campus and seeing our students interact with other students, it just brings tears to my eyes how welcoming that Villanova has the ability to accept students with learning differences.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Meghan Mirsch. I am Senior Manager of Experiential Comcast. Shout out to my amazing teammates in the back. We're the ones in the key matching shirts today. So what our team does, experiential content, for those of you who have been to our campus before, we've got some pretty cool stuff that our public can engage with, including our public attraction, the Universal Sphere, which our team manages. We also offer campus tours and really just focus on the experience across our campus for the public and employees. And with that, we champion accessibility in everything that we do. Our goal is really to reach the widest audience possible. Through that, I am also co-lead of My Abilities, which is our employee resource group that's focused on disability advocacy and inclusion. So I oversee our headquarters chapter here in Philadelphia, which currently has about 1,400 active members. And we offer programming, engagement, professional development opportunities throughout the year. And really, we're just focused on creating an inclusive workforce and elevating our disability community at Comcast to continue to thrive.
Thank you.
So we at Wawa, we have Comcast. So I'm from KPMG. So I'm going to ask how many of you know the company, right? That's good. It's not a household name, but we have 3 offices in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, and Philadelphia, and we have offices in every state. What we do is advise businesses, provide them tax services, audit services, and consult. Help business do better. Right now, everybody knows AI. That's something we're helping businesses with. I am, did I say my name? I did. Niranjan Haridass. The way my wife introduces to her family is like Ni, Ran, and Jen. So if you come across, that's how I pronounce my name. I am from the Philadelphia office, a managing director, work in our consulting business. I run the firm's Neurodiversity at Work program. So we are part of a business resource group called Abilities in Motion, where we focus on mental health and different abilities, helping people with different abilities. I am a father of a 13-year-old non-speaking autistic Spencer. I've been with KPMG for 7 years. Before that, I was with a different firm. At that time, Spencer was 6 years old, and that's when we started to realize, okay, he's not speaking yet, so what is his future going to look like? So I started to look around, what do us as a firm, KPMG, do? And got to learn a lot more about the Neurodiversity at Work program we have been doing, and joined them, help grow them. What we do is in 3 phases. We divide that into getting here. How do we help reduce the barriers for people to get into the firm? And succeeding here, how do you help support, mentor, provide whatever things we need to do to elevate people, not just accommodation, elevate people in their career. And finally, how do we be leaders in the community as well as within the organization? Our chief economist, for example, is a neurodivergent. So she speaks a lot and she's well known in the community, in the financial community. So that's what we are trying to build, promote, grow people. And that's how our program is organized. We run a lot of initiatives. Proud to say that a lot of them have become firm-wide organization have taken over. That's how we do it. Happy to be part of it. Thanks for Deb and Molly to have me part of this program, and hoping to work with VUnited students moving forward. Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing. It's really inspiring to hear a little bit more about your personal stories, as well as the impactful work being done to create more accessible, equitable opportunities. Now let's take that a step further and explore the benefits of neurodiversity in your organization or in the workplace. Meghan, can you please tell us more about Comcast's accessibility initiatives and the impact they've had on your organization's culture?
Absolutely. So I'll speak first from the public standpoint and then more to the employee experience. So I mentioned that we have a public campus. So for those who have never been, our 2 buildings in Center City, Philadelphia, hold up to 8,000 employees. Our original tower is 56 stories. Our newest tower, the Comcast Technology Center, is 60 stories. And a number of these spaces across the campus are open to the public. And, in an effort to really welcome everybody, and especially in a city like Philadelphia, where we have an incredibly high disability population, we have a number of accommodations in place. So something we've done in recent years is we've become a certified autism center. So this is a designation that was given to us by an external credentialing organization, IBCCES. And what they did was come on site, conducted an audit, provided feedback to us of how our campus could be more accessible and sensory friendly to the neurodivergent community. So every single member of our lobby ambassador staff has gone through additional training on de-escalation and how to just provide better guest service to our neurodivergent and disabled guests. In addition to that, all of our public experiences, including the Universal Sphere, and if you've been for the Comcast Holiday Spectacular, we offer accessibility devices. So we have closed captioning technology, assistive listening, we're service animal friendly, wheelchair accessible, and we recently introduced American Sign Language glasses. So folks are actually able to use a pair of augmented reality glasses that will display American Sign Language. And really the idea there is that for any of these experiences, anyone with any accommodation needs or ability ability level is able to participate with everybody else. It's not just certain times of the day or certain offerings. Everything we do is really to reach anyone who could possibly benefit from that. On the employer side, really through My Abilities, our employee resource group, which I'm a part of, we provide trainings and keynote speakers throughout the year. And this is really just to elevate disabled voices in the workspace. So, these are employees who openly identify as having a disability. I myself am a member of the disability community. So, this is a way for us to just have open conversations as a workforce around what our experiences are like, how we can best support our colleagues, and just continue to really advance that inclusive nature to give our disabled population at Comcast a chance to, move up and really accelerate in their careers.
Thank you so much. Those are extremely wonderful initiatives. Niranjan, we would also love to hear more about KPMG's initiatives in fostering inclusive environments and the benefits KPMG has seen from these initiatives.
So I was talking about 3 pillars: getting here, succeeding here, leading here. So as a part of the first pillar to reduce the barriers, what we have done is we have created like 6 or 7 pathways, additional pathways through which the thought process started with the neurodivergent population, but also it's open for everybody. So you came through recruiting channels, talk to the recruiter, and they know these internal processes where they can help channel. I know I see Laura and Ian, she had introduced me to a few candidates. So we have asked them to talk to the recruiters and share the resumes and things like that. These pathways have been instrumental in us to reduce the barriers. It would be as simple as, we're slightly different in the sense we do recruit university talent as well as the experienced people. Villanova, we have a lot of Villanova students in the firm and throughout the leadership too. In the university, one of the things, this is as simple as we have 2 30-minute interviews, just giving a 45-minute, making it 15 extra minutes, our pre-prepared questions and things like that. Those are some of the accommodations we provide, and that helps people to lessen the anxiety and bring it forward. I did talk about, we are part of a bigger employee resource group or business resource group called Abilities in Motion. So as a part of that group, we created 2 unique communities. One is neurodivergent communities where our neurodivergent employees have a space to talk about what works, what doesn't work. They provide us feedback. I know the Representative Joe was saying about nothing without us. So we follow that principle. They are instrumental in providing feedback to everything that we do on Neurodiversity at Work program. And the second thing, which is sort of unique to us, is a caregiver for neurodivergence. So this is something I lead also, where we have hundreds of caregivers across the company who come and share their lived experiences. Particularly neurodivergent caregiver is slightly different because you celebrate the small wins, right? So we try to talk about the journey. Every year there is a new patient, new parent with their diagnosis. How do you go through it? How do you go through the IEPs in the school? How do you get your students to college? So that's what we facilitate. And this group and the neurodivergent community is a very open group, and we have made a big difference in the HR benefits. For example, we have an organization called Rethink Care. We provide services, counseling services, caregiving services. We work with the clinician, technician to help us. What we realized was it's not just about caregivers and neurodivergence. We also need to have the people who work with them, the managers, the HR managers, the team members. They need to be educated further to how to work better. So they can now reach out to these counselors and then get help and advice. And they use this is not just for working divergent candidates, but also their own anything on mental health that they want to deal with. So it is anything and everything that we have done, it seems to expand and help everybody. That was one of my learnings throughout the program. Those are some of the few things we have done.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing all of those efforts and really embracing the different ways of thinking that leads to innovation, problem solving, and stronger teams. But while the benefits are undeniable, we also know there are still barriers that make it challenging for many organizations to truly embrace inclusive practices. Dave, in your experience, what are some barriers employers face when implementing inclusive practices? And what suggestions do you have for overcoming some of these challenges?
So in my experience, the biggest barrier to this type of employment tends to be closed-mindedness. I think there is certainly a perception that you need to be an expert in this space, an expert in disability, in order to create opportunities in the disability community. And the reality is, it's almost impossible to be an expert in any of this, and partnership is really the biggest way to overcome these types of barriers, these types of roadblocks that you're going to hit along the way. We have, like I said, over 600 individuals with intellectual disabilities. And even though I'm the parent of a child with a disability, I would say that does not qualify me to be prepared to know exactly how to work with any of the 625 folks that we have working in our space. But what we do know is we've got a lot of great leaders in our stores that have big hearts and open minds, and ability to kind of take patience and give some grace, and then partner with groups, job coaching organizations, other groups, to really find what the unique ability of each of the individual is, and then try and build career opportunities and develop opportunities around that. And the reality is that's no different than what we try and do with the other 47,000 associates that work at Wawa. When you're a leader, people, you have to change your leadership style to the people you're leading. And in many cases, people want to take a one-size-fits-all approach, and particularly with the neurodiverse community, you cannot do that. But the reality is you really can't do that with anybody. So it is trying to just find ways to take the commonalities between people, to, again, lean on people who are experts in the space. There's no way to be experts in all the different types of things. And then to try and challenge people and create opportunities that individual. And, you know, what I think most of our folks have found, and this does not work out 100% of the time, because nothing works 100% of the time, but more often than not, we have incredible results. People who are able to do more than you think they're able to do, and more than they thought they were able to do as well over time. So that's the thing I think has really been the number one thing I try and share with other business leaders who want to do this and want to work in this space and see that there's benefit here, but don't necessarily know how to get from where they are to where they want to be. And a lot of it has to do with just A, taking that first step, and B, finding good partners, and C, having, you know, that open mind and that ability to try and make mistakes along the way.
Thanks, Dave. There are also some resources that exist through the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. Dana, would you be able to tell us a little bit more about the specific incentives and programs offered by OVR to both employers and workers, particularly through partnerships like Invest? How can employers and employees access these resources?
Well, thank you for mentioning Invest, and I want to give a shout out to my partners back in the back of the room, and Diane Malley from the Drexel Institute on Autism, and the ladies in the back are from PA Family Network. But the goal of our grant is really to identify some employers who want to hire people with disabilities, right? Because of their unique needs as a business, right? As well as to help promote a more inclusive workspace. And so we are offering through the grant that I'm directing 100% wage reimbursement for the first calendar year of a person's employment. So that's a really big support that we can offer to you as an employer. Yeah. So thank you. We can also provide you with 2 positions to support the employees that we're going to ask you to hire through the project. So one of them serves really as, we call them an inclusion liaison. They as a business look at your business model. How can you make your application process more inclusive? How can you make your onboarding process more inclusive? And really, we have found that when you make your workplace accessible to people with disabilities, you're really making it more accessible to everyone. And when everything is more accessible to your general workforce is more productive. Okay, so that's one of the things that we can do is we can provide you with Americans with Disabilities Act accessibility reviews. We can also help you look at your business model and see where do you have unmet needs, right? I don't know of a business that doesn't have an unmet need. And can we create a customized position of employment to meet your needs, but also use the gifts and talents of a person with a disability that may have very specific skills, right? They may not be able to do a wide variety of things, but they might be able to do a certain set of things really, really well, right? And so why don't we capitalize on those skills, right? And so from the individual, the employee's perspective, we are also funding a position to serve as an embedded job coach. So you heard Rachel talk about her job coach earlier, right? So we are hiring through the grant positions. They won't be your employee, so there's no cost to you in terms of benefits or anything like that. But it's really a position that will support the worker, right? Help them learn the job, help them identify any types of job modifications or accommodations that they might need, type of assistive technology they might use, and really to help them become as independent as possible, help you to identify a potential mentor on your staff that might be able to help support them, and then fade out, but they'll remain there on site throughout the duration of the grant to support those workers with disabilities. So basically, for employers who want to partner with us for the INVEST project, you get individuals' salaries for their first year of employment. You get a position that helps you support your business and making it more inclusive, and you get a position that helps support workers with disabilities in their work. But apart from that, in general, OVR has a whole entire division devoted to business services. And we have two of our local business service representatives, Todd Crudy, who are with us. They represent our Philadelphia and our town district offices, and we have our statewide business services director, Dana McKinney, here as well. So we do a lot of partnering with businesses throughout Pennsylvania. And if you are not a partner with OVR, we have a table back here. We would love to partner with you. And really, for people that we serve, the workers that we serve, you know, our primary service that we provide is vocational counseling and guidance, right? We want to help people explore their options. We want to help people better understand their skills and talents, help them to explain what their dreams are, right? And then help them follow those dreams. And then we partner with community rehabilitation programs to deliver services that they may need. And we do provide financial aid for general higher education, but we definitely support inclusive higher education programs as well. And so we can do a lot of different things. So I hope that wasn't too long.
Oh, that was great. I have a feeling that the table in the back is going to be busy after this panel. We appreciate you all sharing more about some of the barriers and the steps needed to create more inclusive workplaces. One initiative making strides in this space is VUnited. To bring this conversation full circle, let's hear from our VUnited representatives. Philip, what is your vision for the future of diversity and inclusion in the workplace?
Well, thank you, Megan. I think I think we have to accept students who have a learning disability. Because if you think about it, students with learning disability, they bring a lot to the table. They have so much experience, I think. And I just think God loves all of you. So a company loves students with disabilities because they also love you. I think it's great. Like I have a learning disability, and I've been working for like 10 years. And then like for me, like I nailed my dream job just working at Villanova. And so I think we all have to nail students with disabilities, nail their dream job.
Thank you, Philip. Jackson, as a VUnited intern, could you share your experience in Villanova's athletics and human resources departments and how you've made an impact in these roles?
Yes, of course, Amanda. Well, both these jobs were amazing because I got to make a real impact by helping keep track of all the work that was given to me and also set up a lot of the events and games. One of the examples in working with athletics is helping, set up like gallery of photos for different teams, either football or basketball, on this website called SmugMug to make sure that they're all kept safe where we need them. And also help setting up for a lot of different activities for games to help with this, and also making sure, even tossing out some shirts to the crowd whenever we need to, like nice prizes, which is really a lot of fun. I like going to the games and seeing how the crowd reacts to it and having a great time watching their teams play. And in HR, which I'm in right now, it's really amazing where I get to help out, create, and scan and put together a lot of different I-9 documents, which is always great. And all the other workers, they guide me in really figuring out how I can scan them, put them together alphabetically, and also make sure that they're the right ones that need to be like printed or at least written upon. And it's really amazing where I get to do it very responsibly and really have a lot to do to offer in order to complete this I-9 project. So it's really the best, honestly. Thank you.
Aw. I'm sure you've all made the connection at this point, but Jackson works in our office at Villanova in HR, and it has truly been an honor to have him be part of our team. We're so full, and the work he's doing has really helped us do really the key projects this semester, and supported us in our student onboarding for student employment. So he's been really, really integral to the team this semester. So thank you, Jackson. Before opening it up to the audience for questions, we'd like to just ask each panelist to share some last advice. From your perspective, what are 1 to 2 immediate actions or best practices that employers can take to implement and create a more inclusive environment? Do we want to start at the other end?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. I'll let you go last this time, Dana.
I think a mindset shift is right. So we talk about accommodations for different ability peoples. We need to think about how do we elevate them. What we have found out is when you think about elevating people, it's not just neurodivergence. You would think about everybody. It's a mindset shift. How do you see people? People all want to do is they want to belong as a part of the company. And it is up to each of the leaders in the company to figure out, it's not just about, hey, I want to give this accommodation, that accommodation. Those should be there. It's about thinking about elevating them, not thinking about a barrier for work, but thinking people as, how do I elevate them? How can they be part of my company and how can we elevate them? That's something people need to think about. So mindset shift is what I would recommend.
Yeah, I think at Comcast, what's really worked well for us is that we listen to our people, right? So that's the advice I would give you today is listen to your employees and your workforce, right? None of these solutions are one size fits all. And it's been said a few times today, right? Nothing about us. So when you're making decisions and introducing initiatives that benefit the community, that needs to be done in hand with the disability community. And that's really what we, as an employee resource group and as a disability community Comcast, is we have been incredibly vocal about that. And now we are part of those decisions that are being made on our behalf. So just listen to your people. If you think you don't have any employees that are part of the disability community, I promise they just don't feel safe enough to share that with you yet. So it really starts with you and just opening up that conversation, creating safe spaces, and it'll all come together from there.
I think the biggest thing is they just gotta love each other, and I think a lot of kids with disabilities is scared to like say that they have a disability, so I think care about them.
I think for me, it's about like inspiring others to do their best work and helping them see what they accomplish as they move forward. And HR represents that because it shows how, well, for me working a lot there, it's really about like, believing that you can accomplish anything that you're given. Because even though it can be hard and you might get mad, you always have to believe that you can do it and really see your skills and how they can help benefit. And I hope that it'll keep inspiring a lot of people to keep doing the same as they move forward. So thank you.
I guess my advice for employers, don't discount the importance of being part of the community by representing the community. And folks with disabilities are a big part of our community. And by opening up your business and your opportunities to those who also have seen and unseen disabilities, you're creating a more welcoming environment for your customers, for your business partners, for your other employees, and that has a lot of momentum in terms of what you represent more than just what you sell, what you just, I think when people think of Wawa, don't have products, they think probably why they go to Wawa and maybe how they feel about going to Wawa. And I think that has to do with the people that are there, probably more than and for a lot of businesses, I think us in particular, when we hire from every community, including the disability community, it makes us more part of that community. And I think that has value, real value.
Well, ditto on all of it, but so one of the things, and I was really thinking about this, and I think from a perspective, we always talk to family members at OVR about the dignity of risk, presuming competence, right? And I'm looking at Mr. Grace because I was just talking with him earlier. But I think that goes for employers too, right? We have to presume that people have capacity to learn and to grow. Not just workers with disabilities, but just employees in general, right? And that we have to also give people the dignity of risk, right? I mean, that's also how innovation happens, right? As business owners, when you take risks, right, sometimes really big things happen. And so I think, like, from my perspective, both from the family's perspective and the individual's perspective, the dignity of risk and presuming competence, but also on the employer side of things, because we really need to dispel myths about people with disabilities in the workplace. They don't, in fact, increase your workers' compensation rates, right? They do not, in fact, increase safety risks in the workplace, right? Those are all myths that for some reason we as a society have created. And that would be the thing that I would say to you is, just really give people an opportunity and you will be just, I don't want to even say amazed, right? Like, you will just be so pleasantly pleased with their work, right? And I just, I want to say that I'm really impressed with the students here. You guys all came dressed to impress today. And yeah. So I'm going to say to the employers out here, like, look at the the workforce that you have to pick from, right? They're sitting here, and and I really like what Dave said about when you hire the people that you want to see to be reflective of your community, right? It increases your business, right? As a person who works in disability employment, if I know that you are a business that hires people with disabilities, I'm going to you every time over your competitor, right? And so I just want to, yeah, I'm just really excited to be here and just thank you for having us.